Right, here we are, Saturday morning at the loft. We've got two races on today. The birds in England have been held quite a while because it's quite misty. The birds in France have been up. There's a good chance both sets of birds could arrive together. So what we do, connect the clock to the sensor pad, power lead in the side of the clock, or car battery connectors. Don't need to touch anything, it'll set itself in 10 seconds to time birds in. Or you just press number 4. Exactly the same procedure as I said before. There we go. Race timer 01 sensor. So, for example, we have one bird from one race, one bird from another, come together, and there they go. The next pigeon is timed in, and the next one. Okay, so all 4 birds are timed in. If you want to check them again, just scroll back using the right arrow key as I am looking at the clock and back up. Birds jump backs on the pad, it won't work again, it'll only work once. As I said, any birds left in the loft, jump on the pad, doesn't work. It'll only time the birds in which have gone to the race. If one comes back from the previous week, it won't time it in. It only times the birds gone to the race. So we now need to go back to the club and print off our 2 races, one at one club, one at another. It's a slightly different procedure, so I will show you. So we'll disconnect the clock and go back to the clubhouse. Okay? Right, okay. Here we are at the clubhouse. Saturday night we're going to print off our first race. So again, no matter what club equipment you're using, connect it via the relative connections. And we'll see number 3 come up on screen of this clock, flashing. So all we need to do is press hash again to confirm it. The radio clock's bleeped and picked the signal up, so all we need to do again is press the hash. Number 8 to print off. Now we can take this pick, do we want to print number 4 or number 1 off first? We'll mark number 1, number 4 second, we'll print number 4 off. It's asking you for number of copies, we only need 1. And it's printing them off. So the birds which went to Wincanton are NWHU 09BT 2346, a red pie cock, and Belgium 9 123467. And the birds which it's timed in, as I said, we had our birds arriving together from each race. It's timed in NWHU 09BT 2346, which you can clearly see they are, and the second bird is Belgium 9 12346567, which you can clearly see the same birds that went to the race. Master timer Friday night read 15:43:57. Your clock read 15:43:57. Saturday night 15:50 and 30. Your clock read 15:50 and 30. So it's a dead clock. Same procedure, 01 sensor. Now you'll see how important it is we don't input the password. If you input the password now, it will wipe the second race off. So all you need to do, disconnect it from the club equipment. We arrive at our second club to print off our second race birds, and you do things slightly different. Connect it exactly the same to the club equipment. This time we press the start, and we press number 4. We press the hash. We press the start again, and number 3 will now come up, which it's doing, it's flashing on number 3, so you just press the hash again. You've heard the bleep, so it's safe to press the hash again. Number 8 to print off the second race, which this time is going to be number 1. Press the hash, number of copies, we only need 1. Press the hash, and away it goes. And the birds which were entered in this race were GB09N 12345 and NWHU 09BT 2345. And the birds which it has timed in is NWHU 09BT 2345, which is the same one that went to the race, and GB09N 12345. And the times of these pigeons, because we did try and get them arriving together, as you'll see, Stratford, Wincanton. the arrival times of the pigeons was 15:47:23. 15:47:23. So the two birds, one from each race, arrived together, timed on the same second, but the clock knew which birds had gone to which race. Absolutely fantastic. It is now safe to input the password, because remember, we may need to race these birds the following week. They won't be accepted. It'll come up on here, already entered. So what we do is number 6, password 1111, and then the last thing we do is we press hash. That clock is now clear. All them birds, the two races, have been wiped clear. The good thing about this as well is, as well as the DVD, you get the Pigeon Fancier's Guide to Friday night marking, Saturday night marking, assigning of pigeons, and getting information from the PC. We've made the DVD because you can actually see what I'm pressing, what I'm touching on the PC. But as I said, everybody gets a copy, is what I call, without being disrespected for anybody, the Idiot's Guide to Working the ETS. It tells you exactly how I've explained it to you, step by step. It was put together by myself, so it's in Pigeon Man's terms, and you will clearly understand it. I hope that you've found this DVD very good, and it tells you exactly what you need. If at any time anything on the clock screen it says something that it shouldn't say, then pick the telephone up and ring me. I'm available 24 hours a day, 52 weeks a year. I'm going to mark one race quickly, and I'm going to disconnect the radio clock, so it's definitely going to say on the clock screen no radio clock. I'm going to show you how to set it manually. Right, okay, I did say I would show you how to set the clock manually. This will only need to be done if essential maintenance is being done at Cumbria, which usually is only done on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, but just in case it was to happen. So I'm going to disconnect the radio clock completely, so we know it's definitely going to come up no radio signal. So that's the radio clock disconnected. Exact same procedure we go through. Connect the clock to club equipment. We go 7#7. Commission ring. That's bleep. Just press the hash. Race point, we use number 2. It's the hash. And it's asking for us to enter as bird. So first bird, second bird. We'll just enter them 2 because the main objective is to show you how to set the clock manually. So we go start, main menu back on, start again. Number 3 is flashing, so we just go through the same procedure. Hash, hash, and it'll come up no radio clock. You can see that on the screen of the clock now. Clearly says no radio clock. We press the hash to agree with it. And today is the 27th of the 9th. So we agree with that by pressing the hash, and it jumps to the time. Use the radio clock, it's the 16th hour, the 15th minute, and we'll set it for 55 seconds. So we'll now wait till the radio clock reaches 55 and we strike the clock. It's now on 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, strike it. You've heard it bleep, so we've struck the clock. We're now going to print the time off, sorry, the entries off. So it's number 8, the race point's number 2, press hash. 1 copy is enough, press hash. It's now printing off the race entries. I will show you how you know it's been set manually. Here we go. 2 birds entered. Master timer at 27th read 16:15:55. Your clock read 16:15:55, and it's got a H there which shows it's been set manually. That's what that H means, it's been set manually. But again, a dead clock, no problem whatsoever. So I'm now going to move on to timing these 2 birds in at the loft, and then we'll come back and print off the arrivals of the pigeons. Okay? Right, here we are, the loft Saturday morning. I'm going to time these two birds in, because the objective is this, is to show you the clock works fine and you can set it manually. So power lead in the side of the clock, I'm not going to wait 10 seconds, press number 4 and away it goes, it's ready to time in. First bird, second bird. So now it's back to Club Saturday night to strike them two arrivals off and strike off the clock against the master timer. So we'll now go back to the clubhouse. Okay? Right, here we go. We're back at the club on Saturday night. The objective, as I said, is to show we've set the clock Friday night without any master timer, without a radio signal, and we're now going to print off the arrivals of these two pigeons. So you plug the clock in as normal. Number 3 will come straight up. So it's just a case of pressing the hash again. Clock's bleeped, it's just hash again. Number 8 to print it off. We know the race point's number 2. Press hash. 1 copy will do. Press hash. And it will now print off the arrivals of those two pigeons. As I said, the main objective is to show the clock can be set manually. Okay, you can zoom in and get this, it'll be perfect. The timing in another two pigeons is there, 16:18:33, 16:18:35. Friday night the clock was set at 16:15:55 and your clock read 16:15:55. H means it's been set manually, and on Saturday night 16, 20 and 36 seconds. Your clock read 16, 20 and 36 seconds. So as you can see, it works absolutely perfect. I'll now clear the clock, 6 and the 4 ones, and hash. The clock is now empty. Just another troubleshooting thing for you. If when you come to print out, it comes up print error on the screen of the clock, that's usually two things. Either the printer's out of paper or there's a paper jam in it. So they're the two things to look for. Slide the paper tray out, back in, ruffle the paper up with your fingers, or just take the back off the printer and see if there's any paper jammed. If ever at any time something does come on screen of the clock that shouldn't be there, then you pick the telephone up and you telephone me. But providing you follow the instructions on this DVD, you also get a manual put together by myself which tells you how to mark pigeons on Friday night, strike them off Saturday night, how to assign pigeons. It's what I call the idiot's guide to using the ETS. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It was put together by myself, who I've been often called an idiot, so that's why I call it that. And I'm quite sure that you'll find it very helpful and you will have no problems whatsoever. But if you do, you can ring me 24 hours a day, 52 weeks a year. But such is the quality of the TauRIS ETS system. They've been in the business for 17 years. Now after 17 years, if the system, as we could say, was rubbish or US, then I'm quite sure they'd be out of business. The company has always been owned by Mr. Eckhard Reuter, as I've said before, he's a family man. The sales manager is a lady called Christina Yanko, who is very, very helpful and nothing is too much trouble. The sponsorship which we've done for the young fanciers, etc. Whenever we've been asked to sponsor nationals, we've always sponsored them. We've offered free club equipment for national marking stations, for Midlands national marking stations, NEHU marking stations, Irish Roman Union marking stations. So as you can see, we are prepared to do our bit towards compatibility and towards people having a choice of which ETS they want to use. But remember, 17 years in the business, that should tell the fancier something. I could have had any system I wanted. I chose the best. TauRIS ETS. Once again, thanks very much.